The next ingredient for protein cleanse is another plant called wild-crafted wormwood. All of you out there who know a lot about ivermectin and the excitement around ivermectin, you're going to learn that wormwood has the exact same actions as ivermectin. It's just the natural, unprescription, unpatented form of that curing compound. First sentence explains it from our website. Wormwood is an herb that mimics the exact same action as ivermectin. It is an anti-parasitic herb and is also an herb that helps protect cells from the spike proteins and venoms from attaching to nicotine receptors called alpha-7 nicotinic acetylcholine receptors. Wormwood is traditionally used to assist the body's natural response in regulating inflammation. Its properties promote comfort and overall well-being while maintaining a balanced inflammatory equilibrium. Anybody living with inflammation out there? The science name for wormwood is Artemisia. So you're going to see this plant study is titled Artemisia extracts, wormwood extracts, used as anti-malarial drugs, a parasite, for COVID-19 management. Could these be effective antivirals for COVID-19 treatment? And this was published in 2022 in the middle of the pandemic. And the reason for this study looking at wormwood was, as the world desperately searches for ways to treat the coronavirus disease, they state the Artemisia plants, Artemisia annua and Artemisia afra in particular, exhibit positive effects against severe acute respiratory syndrome called SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19 related symptoms. This wormwood plant is a source of artemisinin, which is an active against malaria and also exhibits potential for other diseases. This, they say, has increased interest in wormwood's potential for drug repurposing, using it for other stuff besides just parasites. Artemisinin-based combination therapy, so-called ACTs, wormwood, have already been recognized as first-line treatments against other diseases like malaria. Artemisia extract, as well as other artemisinin compounds, have demonstrated inhibition of SARS-CoV-2 infection, which is why it's in foreign protein cleanse. Artemisinin and its derivatives also have shown anti-inflammatory effects, including inhibition of those things that caused all the symptoms of COVID. And for the science nerds, that's interleukin-6, and that plays a role in the development of severe COVID-19 symptoms. They now state here, there is now sufficient evidence, this is 2 years ago, people, there's now sufficient evidence in the literature to suggest the effectiveness of wormwood, its constituents, or artemisinin derivatives to fight COVID-19 infection by inhibiting or blocking its invasion and replication, as well as reducing oxidative stress and inflammation and mitigating lung damage. That's why it's in our foreign protein cleanse. The next ingredient in our foreign protein cleanse to handle the spike proteins of COVID is called cinnamon cassia. Inside of cinnamon and another plant called tonka beans is a compound called coumarin. Coumarin breaks down blood clots from snake venom and all causes of blood clots. Coumarin, isolated from cinnamon and tonka beans, was later called coumadin when they figured out how to patent it and synthetically replicate the chemical structure of coumarin in cinnamon. So you'll see the word coumadin here, the prescription blood thinner. Coumarin is nature's antidote to blood thickening and blood clotting, even the blood clotting caused by foreign venom spike proteins. Derived from the bark cinnamon cassia tree, cinnamon cassia is a rich source of antioxidants. These antioxidants support the body's defenses against oxidative stress and free radicals. Coumarin in cinnamon helps heal from snake venom phospholipase A2, and there's a study linked to it, and you're looking at it. The coumarin derivative from cinnamon inhibits the release of arachidonic acid by interfering with phospholipase A2, that snake venom component, in human platelets stimulated with thrombin, the blood clotting factor in your blood. Coumarin works to beat it. They're going to call cinnamon and this derivative of coumarin AD6 in this actual science study. So AD6 is a coumarin derivative which is able to inhibit platelet aggregation and interfere with the activity of phospholipase A2. So it prevents blood clotting called platelet aggregation in that first statement, and then it helps to block the activities of snake venom phospholipase A2, which is what Arizona found was in the blood of everybody who died with COVID. Experiments with platelets suggest that coumarin from cinnamon inhibits phospholipase A2 activity. This is why we created foreign protein cleanse. The next ingredient in there is called Mucuna pruriens extract. Now, I found the studies about this plant 3 years ago. I started discovering that this one plant is studied more than any others to keep people alive when they're bit by king cobras. And one of the spike proteins of COVID was identified to be cobra toxin, which is a king cobra venom protein. So I had to include Mucuna pruriens in here. Mucuna pruriens is a plant whose components have long been known to help bind to and destroy and detox snake venoms and other venoms from the human body, including phospholipase A2. Mucuna extract supports neurological health by aiding dopamine production. Think Parkinson's. Mucuna pruriens is also known to improve Parkinson's symptoms. This natural compound promotes mood balance and cognitive functioning, contributing to overall mental well-being. That's why it's in our Foreign Protein Cleanse. And just for reference, here's one research study: the detoxifying action of aqueous extracts of Mucuna prurien seed against venoms of the king cobra. Naja nigricollis is a black king cobra, and then another cobra or another snake called Bitis irritans. And they published this finding. The results of the study using Mucuna pruriens with king cobra venom at a concentration of 50 milligrams for every milliliter of blood. Both plant extracts were found to neutralize the blood clotting activity of king cobra venom, but 400 milligrams per milliliter was required to neutralize the blood clotting activity of the other snake's venom. Well, I wasn't worried about that other snake's venom because it wasn't found in COVID-19 patients' bodies. In blood clotting studies, 50 milligrams of Mucuna pruriens suppressed the sticking of all blood clots cells in the human body from cobra venom by 70%. Mucuna pruriens at 50 milligrams only inhibited phospholipase activity by 7%, but higher concentrations up to 400 milligrams had no effect on the king cobra venom. So I just want you to know they're looking at every aspect of the blood and how it's affected with Mucuna pruriens. Mucuna pruriens was put in Foreign Protein Cleanse to prevent all the blood clotting being reported by the spike proteins of COVID and the vaccines from COVID, which was making your body make these venom spike proteins. You'll see here, Mucuna pruriens extract inhibited phospholipase activity by 23%. So this is great. This is one of the reasons we had to add it into our formula. These results suggest that Mucuna pruriens and Mucuna pudica may be considered as promising antivenom agents for people living in a snake bite-prone environment. Well, everybody who got COVID around the world, you got snake venom in your body. You didn't get bit by a snake, but the venom got inside of you anyway. Mucuna pruriens should be considered. Next ingredient is lemon balm, another all-natural substance. This plant is called Melissa officinalis officially. Lemon balm is published to have antiviral properties, and remember, all viruses are by definition foreign proteins. That's why we call our product Foreign Protein Cleanse. And they state that all viruses, which are foreign proteins, are either enveloped or non-enveloped proteins. In this study highlighted here on my website, this study showed that lemon balm essential oil could inhibit influenza virus replication through different replication cycle steps. So it doesn't matter what virus you have. Lemon balm is published to stop the replication of viruses, including influenza virus, which is a respiratory virus, which is what you were told SARS-CoV-2 is. And here is one study, just one, that I highlight on my website of the antiviral activity of Melissa officinalis, otherwise known as lemon balm, against a bird flu called avian influenza A virus. Lemon balm derivatives are going to acquire as a novelty as natural and potent remedy for treatment of viral infections. Since the influenza viruses are developing resistance to the current antivirals being prescribed around the world, including flu vaccines. Melissa officinalis, otherwise known as lemon balm, and their synergistic efficacy against avian influenza virus subtype H9N2 were evaluated. The results showed that lemon balm could inhibit replication of avian influenza viruses, which is what the bird flu is also, through the different virus replication phases. And they go into all those there. I'm not going to read them all. Remember, this is available to you. Replication of avian bird flu viruses was suppressed by the different concentrations of a drug they used, an antiviral called oseltamivir, completely or near 100%. Also, that drug showed a synergistic activity with lemon balm, so when they used them together, it reduced the replication of the virus even better. In conclusion, the findings of the study showed that lemon balm essential oil could inhibit influenza virus replication through different replication cycle steps, especially throughout the direct interaction with the virus particles. Lemon balm alone, not the other drug, they're saying, is very effective at stopping the replication of these RNA viruses. That's why it's in Foreign Protein Cleanse. We're still getting to gold. Don't you worry. You're going to be shocked by these health benefits of gold I'm going to get to here in a minute. Organic turmeric. Turmeric has long been known for its published liver detoxing benefits, but did you know it is published to be an antidote to snake venoms? The Guardian published this article discussing both Mucuna pruriens and turmeric as plant-based antidotes to snake venom and snake bites. Look at this title. More plants validated as antidotes to snake venom. Not ironic, this was published by The Guardian during the COVID-19 pandemic on September 30th, 2021. Why so much talk about plants curing snake bites during a snake venom, spike protein, COVID-19 pandemic? It's not ironic or coincidental. Turmeric, they state in this article in The Guardian, research in a study published in the journal Toxicon have demonstrated the anti-venom and biological effects of A-R-termerone isolated from curcumin, otherwise known as turmeric. They concluded I quote, a potent antivenom against snake bites was isolated from turmeric called curcuma longa, a plant commonly used in traditional Brazilian medicine. The extract of this plant consisted of AR turmerone, neutralized both the blood clotting and blood thinning activity present in Bothrops venom. Just so y'all know, the venom of that snake is what lisinopril is, the blood pressure drug that millions of you are taking and millions of those you know are taking. And the side effects of that would now, you're learning, be prevented with turmeric, which is found in our Form Protein Cleanse. And it says it's also proven to stop the lethal effect of Crotalus duris venom in mice, another venomous creature. Immune studies demonstrated that this fraction using turmeric also inhibited the proliferation, the growth, and the natural killer activity of human lymphocytes. So it helps with cancer formation too. Now let's get into gold. One of the 3 greatest gifts given to Jesus when he was born was frankincense, myrrh, and gold. Why did I put gold in Form Protein Cleanse? Did you know it had more benefits than just this COVID and vaccines for COVID benefit? Why we created it? Here we go. Super concentrated liquid gold. Studies have proven that when venom is introduced by injection or fang or stinger, that gold nanoparticles will bind to the venom proteins literally and reduce their toxicity and deadly effects and help the human body detox the venoms. Bye-bye venomous spike proteins. Now, there are multiple studies where I show the herbs that gold, when bound to those herbs, actually enhances the plant's known protection against detoxing venoms out of the human body. Gold enhances the plant's ability to protect your health. This studied article is in vivo, so in the bodies of mammals, and in labs, in vitro, toxicity of nanogold, conjugated snake venom protein toxin. So they're going to take a snake venom, they're going to bind nanogold to it. They want to see, does nanogold reverse how deadly and toxic the snake venom is in the human being? In this communication, the toxicity profile of snake venom cytotoxin, an anti-leukemic protein toxin, was evaluated after it was bound with gold nanoparticles. Conjugation means bound. Gold nanoparticle conjugation with this venom protein was done with this one particular method called NABH4. The combination product of gold nanoparticles with the snake venom toxin was found less toxic than the snake venom alone on rat lymphocytes and mice peritoneal macrophages, cells of the immune system. Cardiotoxicity, heart toxicity, and brain toxicity were increased in the case of those given the snake venom protein alone than it was when they gave them the snake venom that had the gold nanoparticles. So there's less heart damage and neurotoxicity when you put the snake venom in the body that has gold bound to it. Gold reduces the toxic load of venom. Isn't that amazing? Now, I'm going to skip down towards the bottom to the last 2 statements. Histopathology studies, this means the study of the progression of diseases, showed decreased toxic effect of snake venom poisons in kidney tissue after gold nanoparticles were added. The present study confirmed that gold nanoparticles bound significantly decreases the toxicity profile of snake venom proteins. Isn't that amazing? That's why it's in there, and that's not the only reason it's in there. Now, citicoline is another ingredient. We're going to go to gold here in just a minute because there's other health benefits you need to see about gold. But in Form Protein Cleanse, the gold and all these plants that remove venoms, destroy venoms, are allowing the human body now to benefit from what's called citicoline. Another word for acetylcholine, which is the neurotransmitter that makes all your nerves in your body work. That's what venoms block. Citicoline, snake venom proteins like phospholipase A2 bind to your cells and block acetylcholine from sending signals and information to the next cells in our bodies. Venomous spike proteins bind to nicotine receptors in every cell of our human body, and when that happens, the venoms block acetylcholine from communicating with any other cells. This is why you get loss of taste and smell, why you get ringing in your ears and deafness, why you got brain fog, why you have arrhythmias of your heart. It's because you're having acetylcholine being blocked from moving because venom doesn't let it move. Citicoline provides the much needed nutrient acetylcholine to improve communication between all your cells in your body to keep it functioning optimally. That affects how our brain thinks, operates, remembers, and how the brain controls our body's function. And now check this out. A growing body of research shows that acetylcholine system also participates in modulating inflammatory responses. Do you have arthritis or pain anywhere in your body? Acetylcholine helps reduce that, regulating contraction and mucus secretion, even in your respiratory tracts. Anybody with chronic pneumonia or bronchitis, acetylcholine is the helper, and it influences the metastasis and invasion of lung cancer. Acetylcholine helps block it. In addition, the susceptibility and severity of respiratory tract infections caused by infections such as Mycobacterium TB or tuberculosis and SARS-CoV-2 can also correlate with the regulation of the acetylcholine system.